Welcome back to another episode of Fueling the Flame. I'm your host, Mason Miller, and in today's episode, we actually have an alumni spotlight. We have Carthage soccer legend and current professional soccer player Mickey Reilly joining the show. Mickey, thanks for hopping on, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. This is great.
Absolutely. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with Mickey, he's currently a midfielder for the Portland Hearts of Pine in Portland, Maine, not Portland, Oregon. He's so far appeared in 11 games, recorded 5 starts. So he's off to a great start in his professional career. At Carthage, he was here for 5 years. He's the all-time leader in points and goals scored, netting 48 total goals, 126 total points. He's also second most in assists in program history with 30 assists. He also was awarded some accolades: Wisconsin Player of the Year, Wisconsin Offensive Player of the Year, four-time United Coaches All-Region Team, and four-time CCIW All-First Team. So he has a very impressive list of accolades and accomplishments from his time at Carthage, and that's led him to be finding an opportunity in the professional world as well. So, Mickey, just to start off, you found your way over up in Maine, out of all states, and you're in your first season. This is actually the team's first season as well, so it's your rookie season, but also the team's rookie season as an organization. So, kind of just would you be able to break down how this first season has been going for Hearts of Pine?
Yeah, man. So after my last season at Carthage, I obviously took my fifth year, so I was done in December, and I was reaching out to teams trying to do it, and didn't have too much luck at first. I didn't have any agencies that wanted to sign me. But I kept going. I was traveling, doing some different trials and stuff like that, and I ended up getting signed by Portland and moved here in January, and I've been here since. And it's been a pretty crazy year. First season for this team. This league is growing a lot, and our team is kind of just setting a huge example for the league. Um, I got very lucky. Like we have an unbelievable fan base and media team, and we've sold more merch than all the other teams in our league combined. We've
Oh my
broke the
gosh.
most consecutive sellouts in this league, and we've done just crazy numbers all year, and every game is sold out. So 6,000 people at our games, diehard fans, like European style fans, just passionate and
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
man. It's been crazy, and being a rookie is just going from such a big jump from D3 to professional has just been something that I've had to deal with, and it's been great. And other times it's been hard, but you're gonna have those speed bumps. But overall, man, it's dream come true, and it's been awesome.
Who would have thought that Maine would have been a hotspot for soccer fans? Like that's so cool.
I never
So
thought.
so kind of walk me through again like that time where okay, you graduated in what, December? I think you said so you graduated Carthage in December. Did you always in the back of your mind know that you wanted to play professionally? Is that something that you knew you wanted to try to pursue?
Um, you know, I was a good player in high school, and I had some D1 offers. Both my older brothers went to Carthage and played soccer as well. So I've been around Carthage, since I was 10 years old. I would go to the camps, and it felt like home. So, kind of everything fell through, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to go to Carthage. And I started doing really well there early on. And I didn't know, I thought I could play like D1, and I knew I was good, but I never really thought professional until like my last 2 years. Because I was playing summer league in USL2. There's a team in Racine. So USL2
Yeah.
is pre-professional. It's the league below mine. And it's just kind of what the top college players play at during the summers between their seasons. And I had a really good season with them, and I had played with players that I knew were going pro, whether it was MLS, whatever. So there ended up being like five of us that went pro after that last season. So it's pretty crazy. And I had a really good season. I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And then I was encouraged by my parents, my coach. And it's so hard because you could be good enough to play professional. I mean, there's so many soccer players in the world, but so many things have to go your way. And especially coming from D3, people aren't going to pay much attention to you. And I just had, you know, I impressed the coach, and he saw me play for like 30 minutes and liked me. And then I went to a different trial and I did really well. And eventually an agency saw that I was getting interest and they signed me. And once you get an agent, it kind of helps with negotiations and, legitimacy towards your name. And
Mhm.
Everything kind of happened so fast. I was trialing, and then I went to a different trial, and 4 days later I had an offer, and I agreed to it. So it was crazy, and I still can't believe that I got signed, and I'm so grateful.
I mean, yeah, that's awesome. One of the questions I had was like, did you have to try out? Like, did you have to get like an agent? You kind of covered some of that, but so when you graduated, now you're like, okay, now I'm gonna try to do this. So like, this is the first thing you have to do. You have to what? Gather some film. You just like emailing coaches like when you first started out until you finally got like an agent. Like, how did that work to like actually getting an agent and actually getting some momentum to be
Yeah.
recruited?
So you get a CV, which is like a soccer resume, essentially,
Okay.
and you basically make it like a document, and you got your accolades, your attributes, and then you also have a film with it. And I had all my highlights, and I had a good college resume, so that kind of helped me a little bit. And I had a good USL2 season, which also helped me. And I'd reached out to agencies, and they really weren't pulling the trigger on signing me, so that was tough. So I kind of had to do it on my own, and I reached out to some people I knew, coaches that I knew, and connections, and just some people that kind of believed in me. And I got some trials from some teams in League One, and I had three lined up, but I didn't make it to the last one because I was already signed to Portland. So I I didn't have an agency, and then once I reached out to the agency that was kind of guiding me, they were like, "Okay, we'll sign you, like, because you have offers on the table. Let's do it." So I got my first offer without having an agent yet, and then I signed first with the agency and then with the club. So yeah, it's pretty crazy how it all worked, but I uh, I didn't have. I knew I could get like a preseason with the team because a lot of trialists go in to these clubs and they trial and they do like a preseason with a team. And I knew I could get one of those, but I really didn't think I was going to get signed right off the bat. Like my initial goal was like just get a preseason with the team, see what you can do. And I exceeded that and just got signed right away. So it worked out really nice.
It's
Uh,
kind of crazy how similar it is to like job hunting. Like you gotta get a resume together, you gotta show all the experiences you have as like you're going to get a job at, some business. It's kind of crazy how similar that is, but so that's kind of funny. But so then you keep mentioning like you had to try like you had trials. So like tryouts, right? So you had to is that like a you had to go to their facility and like try out? What does that mean?
yeah. There's some that were open, there's some that were closed. So yeah, you basically just go and work with the coach and work with people that are good at recruiting and assistant coaches, and you trial for a couple days. So yeah, I guess tryouts. And yeah, that's basically what it is. And then if you get invited like a preseason, you're there for like 2 weeks just with the team. And you're considered like in the pro world, it's called like a trialist. So like I was already signed when I came to Maine, but we had probably 20 20 to 30 different trialists throughout the year with us that came, left, didn't get picked up. And so, yeah, it was, you're always seeing new faces in preseason until you have your core group established.
So then what were those I mean like those trials, like what is that like? Do you have to kind of like prove that you deserve a spot on the team, or is it like they're just gauging like how well you fit with the team? Like, what are those trials like? What do you have to do as a player when you go to these?
Yeah. So, I mean, always do your research, find out who's the coach and figure out what they like. And, you know, there's coaches that you could be better than a certain player, but it doesn't fit their style of the game or they don't like something about it. And the coach in Maine, who I'm really close with now, obviously he's been my coach for 9 months. He just liked the way I played, and he saw me for like 30 minutes and was just really into it. And he was just like, "I like your style. Don't sign with any other teams till like we talk." Because I was like, I'm bouncing around right now because I was flying from Maine to Florida to Michigan to all these places. So I was on the road just like trying to do this, and the Portland one was like my first trial. So it worked out. But a lot of things have to fall your way. Like it's definitely some luck and just right place, right time, and the right people that are in charge of, the team. And um yeah, so it's really specific to what a coach wants. And they obviously do your research on where you came from, your family, like personality stuff, because it's more than just soccer in professional soccer. Like you got to gel well with the team, and team chem is just so important. And I am so close with all these guys on my team now that are from all over the world and all different ages. So it's fun, man. But yeah, that's it's hard to explain, but that's kind of how it is.
That was kind of one of the other things I wanted to talk about with these teammates because I was looking at the roster. I mean, you have guys from all over the world. totally different ages. They played for some really good soccer clubs in their past. So I was really interested to learn more about some of your teammates. So having said that, like, how do you think that maybe like I guess let's start with how do you think they've helped you? Like, what have you learned from them? Just off rip because these are guys who have years of experience playing for some. I think I saw a guy played for an MLS team. There could be some other really good ball clubs. So what have you just learned from these guys that you've been able to play with?
Yeah. No, it's been crazy. Yeah, we've had guys play in the MLS overseas, all different nationalities. We got, Australia, Japan, France, Germany, English,
Oh my
uh,
gosh.
and, like all these different places, Caribbean islands, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, guys on the national team and stuff like that. So it's been crazy. And our captain, Mikey Lopez, he's on his like 13th season, and he kind of took me under his wing early, and just taught me a lot of stuff and was someone to look up to. And then I kind of just did it the rest of the year with all these different guys. And like my coach was an MLS coach, head coach for a while too, and he coached Kaká in Orlando, who won the Ballon d'Or, which is like the highest prestigious award. Yeah, so he's coached all these pros. Yeah, Mikey was playing midfield with Pirlo, Frank Lambard, David Villa, like in the MLS at New York City FC, and now he's just playing with like some D3 kid. So it's like it's crazy to kind of see the perspective, and just the soccer world's so small, and um, all these guys have their own experience, and we got some guys that are, around my age. I'm on the younger side of the team for sure. But we got some 33-year-olds, 35-year-olds, guys that have had 13, 14-year careers. So they've just been doing this for a living their whole life. And it's great. It's so cool to kind of see everyone come to this new team, and there's just like we just do everything together, we're showering, eating, meals, traveling together. It's like constantly seeing them. So it's a lot of fun though, and you get a lot of taste of just different cultures and stuff like that.
I'm sure we could probably spend a whole episode just talking about all their teammates and everything they've done in the past. Because I mean, that's so cool. Like you got guys who you said like 30 in their 30s, and they've seen a whole career already go by them, and they've experienced so many amazing things. But how long do you think it took for you to like process and like realize that like I'm a professional soccer player now? Like, you go from student athlete to professional soccer player. How long do you think it took you to like have that settle in and like you just actually realize that?
I think when I got paid for the first time, I was like, I I've done soccer my whole life, and I've done, college soccer for the past 4 years, and it's a similar schedule, like just with how much you're playing and stuff like that, practice every day. I mean, it's obviously more intense now, but yeah. And then when I first got paid, I was like, there's no way, like this is like real, my real job. And then I think just the fans, like going places, getting recognized, signing thousands of autographs, like all that type of stuff that you'd think about. And yeah, I mean, especially here, like there's some places in my league where you probably don't feel as of like a professional soccer player. We go to some stadiums, and there's like, 500 to 1,000 people in there, or like even less than that. And then we'll come back to our place, and it's like a loud stadium, 6,000 people. Just so it's different. And everyone loves coming to our stadium because they feel more like a pro just because the fans. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would say that is when I kind of felt like, wow, this is my job, and it was pretty crazy. Yeah.
So then what's it like going from like you went sorry Midwest, like grew up in Illinois, like in Wisconsin for college. Now you're going out to Maine. Who knew they were such a passionate state for soccer? And you just mentioned like you guys are selling out, filling the stadium. The team's doing well from a business standpoint. But how do you feel like it's been going from living in the Midwest to being all the way up in Maine?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I never thought I would leave the Midwest unless it was for soccer. Um, and I never thought I would be in Maine. Like I never,
Shit.
and like I found out late there was a team there. And it's so weird how it works. It's just, there's just a demand for it. And it was like 5 years in the making. They got it going, and it's different. Like when I would jump in the water, I would expect it to be like Lake Michigan, and then you taste like all the salt, and you're like, oh, I'm in the dark. This isn't Simmons Island or something like that. Um, so yeah, that was weird. Just kind of that you're right on the ocean, and you're so close to Europe too. It's like a 6-hour flight to London. And we're the
Gosh.
Yeah, so and New England's cool. Like it's the people out here are really cool. Portland's like a pretty hipster town. The food is just a lot of seafood, oysters. But yeah, I mean, I still always have those Midwest roots. There's another kid on my team that's from the Midwest as well. So it's cool to have him around. But like it's so weird being like, because you're from, everyone at Carthage is like Illinois and Wisconsin essentially, and you kind of just know where everyone's from. And but now to be like, yeah, I'm like the Chicago kid here is it's cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, I love it out here. It's definitely a change in scenery, but I mean, New England's a great place, and Portland's like very in the summers. It's like a ton of tourists come, and it's like kind of crazy. But it's a cool little city. It's the biggest city in Maine, and it's only like 75,000 people.
That's so sweet. It's probably like going back to school again and everything. But so what do you think you miss the most from like Illinois, Wisconsin, or like the Midwest? What do you think you miss the most right now?
Well, I love. Ooh, I miss. I mean, my family's. I definitely miss my family and friends. But even like I miss college, man. Like college is unbelievable. Like it's, there's nothing like got me more excited than like going back to preseason for soccer and just like you're with all these guys, your best friends, you're playing and Carthage is great, man. I miss Carthage. Like as soon as I'm coming back in the off season, I'm heading up there to say what's up to the guys. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, no, Carthage is a great place, and I miss my friends and family back home, and I miss the people from the Midwest, and um, yeah, I miss all that. I miss living in the soccer house and doing all that stuff and just messing around. But yeah, I mean, I've never been away from home this long, and you're pretty tied down. You can't really go home. Basically, got practice 5, 6 days a week. Then we're traveling and doing all that stuff, so it's intense for sure.
yeah, I mean, that's pretty a crazy just life change. And I mean, you're pursuing what you've always wanted to pursue. So that's got to be pretty sweet at the same time. So a couple more questions, then we'll get to reminisce a little bit about your Carthage time. But so I'm actually curious, like you kind of talked about it a little bit, like 5 to 6 practices a week on the road. So what's a week in the life like as a player for the Portland Hearts Pilot? What are you guys doing on an average week in the season?
Yeah, so like a normal schedule is, we get our schedule like a month or two in advance, and then after that we get a new schedule. But it's basically, you got at least one game a week at least, sometimes two games a week, depending on the schedule. We've had a pretty intense schedule the past couple of months. Some months are more relaxed than others, but yeah, I mean, so you report at the facility around 8:30, and then the team feeds you breakfast, and then you have time for like an hour for recovery, treatment, kind of just chilling out, stretching, warming up, and then we'll do like a meeting before practice, whether it's film on the opposing team or just, house cleaning items or whatever's going on. And then we'll practice for about an hour and a half. And then after that, lunch gets brought in. We all eat lunch together, and then you go home. So you're home by pretty much 12:31 every day. That's like a practice day, and then you have the rest of the day off. So that's nice. And then for away games, um, you basically the day before the game, you travel there. Um, everyone goes to the airport. You all fly together, and you get there the day before the game. You're in a hotel. Wake up the next day, like specific pregame meals and meetings, like the same routine every game. You play the game, you'll hang out in the city afterwards, or you just get up and then you'll leave the next day after the game. So it's usually a 3-day trip to travel, and it's fun, man. Some of the travel days like suck, um, and it's just a part of it. So it could be just like rough, just doing all the traveling, and you do it so much. Like I've flown so much this year. And there's a team in Spokane,
Oh my
which
gosh.
was like coast to coast. So it was like a 6.5 hour flight. And there's a team in LA. There's going to be 7 new teams in our league next year as well. So
Wow.
it's just growing a bunch. But yeah, some of the days are better than others, but being at home is a lot better. The home games are just, you have practice, you go home, you wake up, you meet at the facility a couple hours before the game, play the home game, and after that, you're celebrating, hopefully. So it's
It's
good.
always great to have those home games, especially when it seems like you have a pretty good crowd and home fan base. But what's do you have any memories of being on the road or like maybe a certain city that was like, okay, this is awful, but I'll never forget being here. Like, is there anything that comes to mind when you think about all the places you've traveled so far for the team?
Hmm. Yeah, Spokane honestly is like a weird city. It's far away. It's kind of there's a lot of interesting people out there. Just a weird area, but I'm trying to think. I had a game. There's a team in Madison, a professional team in our league.
Yeah. Forward
Um,
FC, right? The Flamingos?
yeah, Forward Madison.
Yep.
So we went there and I had like all my family and friends come and some Carthage guys as well. So that was like my favorite game to play in a way. I just felt at home and we tied 1-1, but I mean, I played good and it was just great to be there and have all my like there was some also another thing. Every game we go to, there's main fans at away games. Like the jersey's been sold in all 50 states.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
so we'll always have fans at away games, which is just outrageous. But so that's cool to see. But yeah, I mean, you don't see too much of the city. You kind of just you're in the hotel most of the time and then play the game, go right to the stadium, and then after that, I went to Tormenta, South Georgia. Pretty weird city. It's just so different from where you're from. Like, there's some places that just like are kind of ghost towns. And then there's other places that feel like a real city. And like we play on some baseball fields too, like Omaha and Knoxville. They have like baseball fields as their soccer fields. So they're old stadiums that kind of just turn into soccer fields. So it's different, but it's still like I'm still at the league where we're not in the MLS, so not everyone's gonna have like a crazy huge stadium. But I mean, soccer's growing a bunch, and the World Cup's here in a year, so it's gonna keep growing. I mean, it's crazy.
That's like seven new teams, and you guys already have like what, close to 20 something teams in just your league alone, right?
It's gonna be so it goes MLS, USL Championship, League One. That's
Mhm.
the professional soccer in America. So USL and League One are, the same league, not different league, but same ownership and all that. So there's 14 teams in our league right now. There's going to be 21 next year. And then I think Championship has like 30-ish teams, 34 teams, then MLS has like 32. So yeah, they're gonna introduce promotion and relegation soon. So basically,
Wow.
yeah, that's gonna be fun. That'll be in like a year or two. But yeah, that's exciting. But yeah, I mean, seven new teams. It's exciting. I think all these teams are. I think Portland is just such an example for these new clubs now. It's like people are seeing how much fun it is here and just they want to be a part of it. And I think these owners and ownership groups are just like, yeah, let's start a team here. Let's start a team here. So like you never know. I bet you the year after that there's gonna be five more teams and it's just gonna be I'm all for it though, man. It's the world sport and it's huge in Europe and a lot of people are just excited about it and I'm happy it's growing in America. So
Yeah. It's interesting how much you're talking about like the business end of the league and being a part of the team and like talking about how we have, fans are showing up, like we're selling out the stadium, like there's people all across the nation, and it's cool to hear that business perspective I mean, as well as were you a business student at Carthage?
I minored in business administration. Yeah.
Okay. So you put some of the education to work at least.
Yeah. 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 No,
All
it's
right,
cool.
last question regarding like your professional experience. So I know this isn't everything in soccer, but you're still waiting on your first goal, right?
Yeah. I scored in a friendly. So
Oh, okay.
some people considered it counted. I don't consider it counted. It was a friendly between a team in the first division in Canada. So I scored in that game and it was at home, so it was awesome. I can send you a video later, but so that was good. But yeah, I'm still waiting on my like first league goal. But yeah, trust me, I'm trying to get there. Yeah, that's just another you you go from scoring all these goals at Carthage and you're trying to get more minutes on the field here and just it's something you're not used to. So it's something I've adapted to, but it's how it is.
For sure. It's on the way. I can feel it's on the way. Hopefully it's at a home game too, so that'd be pretty sweet.
Thanks, man.
All right. So now let's transition back to your time at Carthage. reminisce a little bit about everything that you did in your career at Carthage. So you kind of talked about it before with your family and your brothers playing at Carthage, but looking back, like what do you think drew you to Carthage? Was it just that family connection that you always had?
Um, yeah, I think I felt comfortable there, and I think my brothers and parents were like, "This is a safe option. Like you're gonna like it." I love the coach at the time who's not there anymore, and he convinced me a lot. Him and the assistant coach really wanted me there, and you really want to go where people want you. You know, if I were to go to like some D1 school and not really wanted as much as they wanted me, and um, so yeah, it was clear to me that I was like, I'm just gonna do a safe option. I feel comfortable here. I've slept in the dorms at Carthage for these camps, and I've been to all these games, and it was something that I want to be a part of, and yeah, so I kind of just yeah, I think 2019 fall I was decided like I'm just gonna go to Carthage, and I still believe it's the best decision I ever made.
That's
Um,
so cool.
yeah, man. So, and then COVID obviously happened, so it was a little weird at first, but it ended up working out good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Looking back, is there anything that stands out as like this is my favorite memory with like just Carthage or maybe just with soccer? Like what do you think was like something you look back on like, oh man, I'll always remember that.
Favorite? Hmm. I mean, I really don't have. I don't have specific favorite moments. Um, I really just loved being around on campus and playing soccer. And the fall was always my favorite, just playing games. And I loved beating like highly ranked teams. We had a couple teams over like the top 5, 10 teams in the country, and it was great to beat them and stuff like that. I had a golden goal my first season. So there was golden goal still around. It's not there anymore. They changed it. But basically we were in overtime and first goal win or first person to score wins the game. So I
Dang.
scored in overtime and then we all like ran to the corner and just did the typical like take your shirt off, run, self. So that was one of my favorite goals just because you know, you kind of end the game. But no, I love just playing beside my best friends and just like nothing's better than just winning and hang out afterwards and just enjoying it. And it's just college, man. Like you're with a bunch of people your age, bunch of athletes. I loved hanging out with all the other teams as well and supporting them and going to their games and just there's so many good people at Carthage, and just fun people and the athletic programs. It's very good and it's even since I was there, it's been changing a bunch and growing. And I think the sky's the limit there. And I'm curious to see what it's like, nowadays. And I haven't been gone that long, obviously, but yeah, I definitely want to be involved somehow in the future at Carthage with some sort of I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but I definitely want to get involved again. It'll always be like a home for me.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find a way to get involved. But you mentioned that it's one of the things you miss most was just like celebrating after a goal or just like the experience playing with your friends and stuff. So I know I'm on the basketball team I know here, but I played soccer in high school and everything. And I actually have a photo right here on my desk of when we won a PK shootout in our playoffs in high school. It was like raining, it was muddy. It's like we were all just out there like going crazy after that last goal. My best friend scored the fifth PK, and so this is our photo. You can see me right there. That's me with the crazy face and just like
Bro,
us
it's
going
the
nuts after the goal. Like that's the stuff I miss most about soccer when I did play was just like you score a goal and it's like the greatest feeling ever and you can celebrate with everybody. And
it's the
I didn't
best.
I didn't take my shirt off, but
No, it's great. Yeah, nothing's better than scoring, and yeah, that's funny though, man. You gotta love it.
so looking back, who do you think were maybe there's multiple people, but like who do you think was like a big influence during your time at Carthage? Like maybe it was a coach, a teammate, maybe a professor like that helped you develop as like a player and even as a person. Like who do you think influenced your time the most?
I mean, both my coaches. I had a coach, Steve Doman, which was the Carthage coach for like 30 years. He coached my brothers, and I was with him for my first 2 years. Um, and he influenced me a lot. And then Paul Elise, who's the current coach, totally influenced me a lot, um, as a person and as a player. And he had been at the professional level as well. So he was more of a he was in USL Championship as an assistant coach. So he knows, and it's crazy. I play. Paul is a Division One coach, and I've played some of his Division One guys in my season this year, and we've talked about Paul and have sent pictures back to him. Uh, so he's got a lot of players that he's coached that are playing pro. Um, but yeah, and just my friends. I played almost every game with Nick Renfro, who is the co-captain of mine. Um, Aiden Crowder, who I played every game with. We were the two guys to take our COVID seasons. Um, yeah, and just a bunch my class, my freshman class, there was 40 of us our freshman year. So it was just a
Yeah.
crazy amount. And we all just had a blast and all those guys throughout the years, some stopped playing, some left, but I always remain close with the guys were around still. And um, yeah, I think just everyone kind of influences each other. You get a little different background, you're outside of your hometown, so you got some distinctiveness within your team and stuff like that. But also just a lot of good professors. I went to John Bruning. He's a professor at Carthage. He announces the soccer games. I went to Europe with him for like a J-term trip where we went to a bunch of soccer games. And he was my professor in like 5 or 6 classes over my time there. And he's someone I'm super close with today. Um, but he's someone I really like looked up to as a teacher, and he's the man. But it was cool. He took us to Europe. It was like 15 of us that were on the soccer team, and we just went to a bunch of professional games in like Italy, England, Germany. So that was like one of my favorite things about Carthage, just that J-term trip. I think that's one of the best things about Carthage too. Like they do very good small study abroad trips. Um, I recommend you do it, man, if you haven't.
I would love to. It's just tough because we're busy during the winter, so
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
I can't. I
Forgot
know
you're
which
in.
one you're talking about because don't you go it's like a sports journalism or like media
Yeah.
focused class, but you travel and see a bunch of soccer stadiums. Like that's something like I would totally do if
Man,
we
the
didn't have
athletic
basketball.
issues.
But
Yeah. They have the
but
summer ones too, but it's obviously different. Um, that's cool, man.
yeah, so I would love to do some travel abroad stuff for sure down the road. But shout out Professor Brunning.
Yeah,
He's the
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Okay. So if you do you think of like any challenging moments your time at Carthage? Like looking back, like, oh my God, this is like such a tough moment. Like I was kind of in the valley, like, I was just down mentally, physically, or whatever it was. Like, what do you think was a challenging moment during your time at Carthage, and like how do you think you grew from it?
Um, yeah, I think soccer wise, just losing multiple games in a row is awful. And you don't have that many games in a season. Um, it's like 17 or 18, and if you go farther, you go farther. But I think just we lost in the CCIW championship 2023 against Wesleyan, which is just it was crazy because we were the 4th seed, they were the 6th seed, and we beat North Central, who was the 1 seed, and they were like nationally ranked, and we beat them in overtime, and it was the best game we've played that season. We were up 2-0 at home, and we lost 3-2. So that was probably the low of my career. Um, just because it would have been nice to be in the national tournament. Um, maybe have gone on a run, you never know. So yeah, that was definitely challenging. But other than that, um, just playing some tough opponents, some nationally ranked opponents, and just injuries. But I was pretty healthy most of my career at Carthage.
It's good. I guess you could probably already answered my next question, but my next question was if you could replay one college game, which game would it be?
Yeah,
It's probably that was in game you're thinking.
yeah, it would be that Wesleyan game. Oh man, if I had this year of experience right now and I could go back tomorrow and play, it'd be very nice. But yeah, I would play that game over again. Yeah.
Uh, all right. I don't want to make you like regret anything, but what do you think you could have done differently looking back at the game? Like, because you guys were up 2-0. I was at the game. Just a couple guys maybe had a little too much to sip on beforehand. We were a little rowdy. It got a little ugly after the game when they ran over to our sideline and we started throwing trash and stuff. I'm sure you knew what happened, but like, what do you
Yeah.
think you would have done? What you know now, playing for a while with your team in Portland, what do you think you could have done differently?
Um, well, I think I could have just been better in that game now. But I would have just, I don't know, been more of a leader, I guess, and just had the team hold out the loss and wasted more time and or hold out the win, sorry. And yeah, just I don't know. I just think I'm a way better player than I was then. Um, and I just think I could have had more control in the game. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Results happen, but still definitely happy about my career. Um, but yeah, that game sucked.
I was there too. It sucked. I can't even lie. It was first half was great. You guys were up, and then you just kind of I don't know. Like, they
Crazy.
had some crazy goals. To be fair, I'm trying to remember back. I think they had like something way outside the box or something crazy, but
Yeah,
I guess props to them. But
yeah.
okay. What's so you're talking about a lot of stuff that you miss your time in Carthage. Is there anything that you don't miss about college soccer now that you've been playing professionally? Like, oh, this is just so much better professionally than in college.
Yeah, I can think of a lot of things. I mean, one, the fans. We didn't have like a ton of fans at our game in college. I would say the refs are probably better here, even though the refs aren't great here, but they're probably better than college. And just the facilities and the stadiums we go to versus some of the places we went to in college. Um, like I remember like we went to like Augustana. Nothing against Augustana. Sorry if anyone's hearing this, but I remember our locker room was just like a public bathroom, and like we would be in our locker room changing, and like guys on their team would just come in like taking, and we're just like, there's no way. Like it was just a joke. But yeah, like stuff like that. And then just, I mean, everyone's just so talented at this level. You know, they're obviously all professionals. So I just think the competitiveness is more, there's not a huge drop off with some players, like some D3 players versus professionals. So I would just say that. And um I like that more. And getting paid's nice versus not getting paid in college.
Fair enough. Yeah, you got to give it to that. So, last thing about Carthage, what advice would you give to anybody who's like, hey, maybe they're in your position, they went D3, people know that's kind of you just go to D3 to enjoy your last couple of years of playing, and then professionally usually is not something that they're considering. Like, what would you say to people who are maybe in your boat who are like they have the chance to play professionally? What would you say?
Yeah, always believe in yourself. Be confident, be driven, be grateful, and there's always a way, no matter who sees you or the connections you have, and if you're good enough, you could do it. And just be grateful that you're at a great school with great coaches and athletic facilities, and um, yeah, just I would just say believe in yourself is the main thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, you ready for the special segment? Last segment we got here.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
So it's just rapid fire questions. So I got a list of maybe 10 questions. I'm gonna fire them off, and you gotta answer them as quickly as possible.
All right, sweet.
All right, here we go. First question. What is your favorite dribble move?
Um, just hezzy to the right. So drop your shoulder to the left, touch to the right.
Oh, money. That's how you scored 50 goals at Carthage. So, If you could play for any professional soccer team, who would it be?
Right now,
Besides Portland. Besides Portland, yeah.
Inter Miami.
In Miami. Go play with Messi.
Yeah, play with Messi exactly. Or
Next
Barca.
question.
Yeah,
Who's the go to soccer or football?
Lionel Messi, 100%.
Who's the first soccer jersey you ever owned?
Ooh, Ronaldinho.
Ooh, okay, okay. Great question. How much would you need to get paid to get a buzz cut?
People have asked me this before. At least 10 grand.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude, I've had this hair my whole life and I don't know. Mia, how much, this is my girlfriend. How much do you think I'd need to get my hair shaved? She says it's not even a question.
Or just 10 grand? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
probably.
Uh, I mean, I was looking back at your bio photos from all the archives from Carthage, and you had the hair for all 5 years. So I'm like, all right, I gotta ask you a question about the hair. 10 G's though,
Yeah,
that's
man.
that's a pretty high price. All right, next
Hmm.
question. What is your biggest fear?
Biggest fear. Um,
Any weird phobias or stuff that just like
I don't have,
it's
I wouldn't like to be, sorry, I'm taking way too long. Um, Probably just like stranded in the middle of the ocean.
yeah, that would be a good one. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Go-to karaoke song.
You're belting this out on the
Uh,
mic at a bar or something.
mm-hmm. Um, Probably Do You Realize by the Flaming Lips.
Never heard that
Um,
song, but you'd probably do great at it. I don't know. What's your uh what's your most used emoji?
Laughing emoji.
Laughing emoji. What is your favorite smell?
Smell.
Yeah.
Um, Probably gasoline.
That's what I was thinking too, honestly. Underrated smell.
Like an old car.
What's
It's great.
yeah. What's your hidden talent?
Hidden talent. I don't really have. I mean, I could play guitar and sing. It's not really hidden though, because I do it publicly, but I'd say that.
Hey, well you have a family band, right? Or
Yeah, my
your
dad's a
father?
musician. Yeah. So I perform and sing with him a lot. I've done like over 50 shows with him. So yeah, he's been doing it
Wow.
his whole life. Yeah.
50 shows. Holy crap. That's so cool.
Yeah, I've been on like tours and stuff with him, but yeah, that's his identity. So yeah.
What's his band called?
His name is Ike Riley. His band is Ike Riley Assassination.
Across Assassination. Dang.
Yeah.
So what type of music does he play?
Um, he's had different phases throughout his career, but like from rock and roll to like alternative to indie country-ish music. It's like not country like you think, but like country like I don't know, kind of like Bob Dylan,
Yep.
stuff like that. But I would say mainly like rock and roll.
That's so cool. Dang. So you're out here playing soccer, you're out here going on concert gigs and everything. That's pretty sweet. Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. That's the life. That's the life. Okay. Well, that was my last question. 10, I don't know where we're gonna find 10 G's to cut the hair. I don't know who's gonna be paying that price, but hopefully I
You
mean
never know. A
would
bunch
you
of people.
would you gladly accept 10 grand to cut your hair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would do it and cut and buzz my hair for sure. But like nothing less than that.
Oh my gosh. Well, is there
Yeah.
any closing remarks you want to make? I'll wrap up here, but is there anything else you want to say about your time with Portland and your time with Carthage or anything?
Now just hope everyone at Carthage has a good year. Good luck in all your sports. Play hard, wear the badge with honor, and just have fun.
Yeah, for sure. This has been a great episode talking about your freshman career. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I wanted to ask, probably a ton more questions I could ask. But it's been really great to have you join us and sit down and share all your experiences and talk about your time with Carthage. It's been great. So I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. I think this is a great thing you're doing, and I look forward to seeing the episode.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. So stay tuned for future episodes and thank you for listening to Fuel in the Flame. We'll see you next time. Peace.